Om Vakratunde Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Chaturthodhyayaha.
Atha Chaturtho Dhyayaha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shloka number 22. Yadrichalabhasantushtaha
Yadrucchalabasantushtaha.
Dvandvatito vimatsaraha
Vandhadhito vimatsaraha.
Samasiddhavasiddhau cha
Samasiddhavasiddhau cha.
Krutvapi na nibhadyate.
Krutvapi na nibhatyate.
Yadrichalabhasantushtaha. Santushtaha is triptaha, is content with whatever he gets by chance. Dvandvatitaha is above the pairs of opposites, means is not affected by pairs of opposites. Vimatsaraha, free from jealousy. But it's only Upalakshana, we have to bring the other five also. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mahamada, Atsarya. Jealousy, free, Vimatsaraha, free from jealousy. Free from all the sixfold affliction, Shadripuhu. Samasiddhava Siddhocha, with reference to regard to success and failure, he has got Savatta Buddhi. Even though he performs action, he is not bound by that. So, Yadrichalava Santushtaha, Apratitaha. Without being asked for whatever comes, Labhaha, he is happy with that. So, Yadrichalava Santushtaha. Shitoshna Dukkadi, Shitoshna Bihi, Dvandaihi, is free from Atitaha, above that. So, Avishanna Chittaha, Bhashikara says in the Bhashyam, Avishanna Chittaha, not afflicted by she's the pairs of opposites. Then Vimatsaraha that we saw in the last class. Vimatsaraha meaning jealousy, free from jealousy. Matsara means Matsariya, Matsara jealousy. Vimatsara is referring to the person. Vigataha Matsaraha Yasma, from whom the Vimatsara, that jealousy, jealousness, the jealousy has gone, that person, referring to the person. So it is not only jealousy, it stands for all the sixfold that afflictions. The first sixfold affliction that Swamiji explains here. Bhagavan Krishna here singles out jealousy because it is a worst affliction, jealousy. Jealousy burns up a person. Therefore, it is an affliction, one of the worst affliction. among the six cited above. The six are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. The last one is Matsara, jealousy. All six, in fact, are common to everyone because a person feels incomplete because he or she has likes and dislikes called Kama. When Kama is there, Krodha will be there. Krodha and Kama can turn into Lobha, and one may have delusion with regard to the Vishaya objects for Moha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, then Mada, then Matsarya. So we're going to see all one by one. So therefore, this 6-4, the presence of this implies that the person has a sense of inadequacy. He feels incomplete. He has got Raga Dvesha. So therefore, he is attacked by these six enemies. Because he feels incomplete, therefore he works to be happy, works to be secure. And wherever there is Kama, Krodha, anger is possible. Because Krodha is nothing but a form of Kama only. Obstructed Krodha is anger. Krodha, Kama, Yeshaha Kamaha, Yeshaha Krodha, Kama. It's a Rajoguna Samudbhava iti. Jayato Vishayan Pumsaha, Sankasteshu Pachayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, Kamat Krodha Bijayate Visa. So Kama, Krodha is formed. Krodha is, for Krodha, the source is Kama only. When someone or something stands between you and what you want, this obstruction, that pratibandha, that obstruction turns your karma back to yourself, the form of krodha. This reflected beam of desire, this krodha, anger towards the obstruction. The karma itself turns into krodha. When your desire, when your expectation is not fulfilled, then there is anguish, there is worry, there is concern, which turns into anger. And the obstruction becomes the target of your anger, which even if the obstruction is yourself. So you get angry with yourself. The person is completely, he is not self-contented, but edirchalabha santushtaha we see the person. Therefore, he doesn't have karma, doesn't have krodha, is free from all this affliction. One who is afflicted, how can he be contented? So, or not knowing who is responsible, you take your anger out on everyone and anything, even God. You blame God. Only one thing, one person who doesn't respond is God. So you can show anger. In fact, that is better. Instead of showing your anger to a person, show your anger to God, because Bhagavan is not going to respond. He will not respond. At least your anger toward Bhagavan will become sort of a remembrance of the Lord. That is something you remember, at least God. That is some punya. That is better than showing the anger on someone. Then there is greed, lobha. Then the next one, next ripu, enemy is lobha. Lobha is a problem for those who are so insecure that even if they have more than enough money, they cannot spend it on themselves or on others. And they think they have to accumulate more and more, wanting more and more, not happy with what one has. Again, discontentment, lobha. Like kama and krodha, lobha is to be expected in one who is insecure, who is immature. So these are all the problems of the insecure people. The next one, having false values is also a problem. Moha, delusion. A person who has false values. False values because of society in which he or she grows up as false values. It's a very big thing to come out from this moha, the false values. The values which we esteem so high, not really analyzing it, understanding it, there's no value. It is false value. Like to think that the color of one's hair determines how much fun you will have. Exemplified with a well-known expression, blondies have more fun. It's a false value. The same way a man may think he has made it only when he has got a big board, an apartment in Manhattan, the cabin at Lake Tahoe. Since the society itself has false values, therefore moha is also expected. So again, it leads to insecurity. It leads to self-discontentment. Every society has false values, and these values are taught. They grow upon you. They grow upon you. They grow upon you by comparison. By grow upon you either directly or indirectly, or you set yourself a standard, or you have some model, a role model, a wrong model, and he wants to emulate. So it's all the ways by which the false values are imbibed without understanding what it is. They're all just imbibed. And it is nurtured by the society also. When, for instance, a society thinks that to be single means to be lonely, this particular thinking seeps into everyone's psyche. In fact, being single has nothing whatsoever to do with being lonely. A person is lonely when he or she is not understood by another person. There's a difference between loneliness and aloneliness. A person feels lonely because he is not understood by another person. Thus, if you want to be understood, you will be lonely. You can be lonely in the midst of million people. You can live in a house with 20 people and still be lonely, especially if you sit in a corner thinking that no one likes or understands you. Society's false values are imbibed by the person. So therefore, probably it is very difficult to fight against these false values and be a sane person among the insane people in the society. When you grow up in a society that has such values, naturally you are going to imbibe these values. From childhood onwards, these values are nurtured. So therefore, these false values become natural in a person. This imbibing is natural, and whatever is imbibed can remain with you throughout your life. Therefore, false values are very difficult to remove by vichara inquiry because they have rooted themselves so firmly, even by vichara. To shake them loose requires a lot of understanding. To think that money and power or anything else will save you or make you somebody is all moha, delusion. Moha, moda jagi hi dhanagama trishnam. In Bhagavad Bhashikara, Shankaracharya says, Muda. However, given the false values of the society, the person is brought up, moha is understandable. Then mada is vanity. Vanity occurs when a person doesn't believe in his or her own capacity. Most people have an underlying sense that they are useless based on the humiliation they had experienced from the time when you were 3 years old, all the childhood problems. Therefore, vanity. In the second year of life, if you think you are the only ego around, you are an absolute ego, in fact. And then you discover your mother's ego, your father's ego, your sister's ego, and your brother's ego. You also discover that all these other egos are different from yours, and that yours is only one among the many. This discovery is the first humiliation, followed by many more. Not being the not being first in the class, not winning the race, not coming even close, and so on and on. In the face of all this, how will the child look at himself or herself? And who is going to escape such humiliation? You will definitely look at yourself as an incompetent person in some ways, if not in all. That I am incompetent, self not accepted, I'm incompetent is the original problem. That I am incompetent is the original problem of everyone. Self dissatisfaction, self discontentment, self non acceptance. I'm incompetent. It is somehow this has rooted because of the experience of the person from the childhood. So therefore, I'm incompetent. That's why it's the original problem. No one need even tell you so. Nobody teaches you are incompetent. Or there may be some verbally the person would have been intimated or told by a close one, you are incompetent, you are incapable, possible, but without being also, the person feels incompetent. If someone compliments you, you are very happy, taking it to be some grace you have received because you think of yourself as incompetent. You feel courageous. You feel very good when somebody says, if you're incompetent in certain ways, this conclusion that I'm incompetent is unavoidable. And when a person thinks this way, happens to accomplish something, vanity, mada, would be the result, which is nothing but another form of inferiority complex. Because I cannot stand my incompetence, I have to pump myself up with a certain type of thinking or boasting. That's a vanity. Self-boasting. I'm so wonderful and so on. This vanity, mada, is also understandable, given that people take themselves to be generally incompetent. Mada is vanity. The vanity is because the person has the underlying feeling that I am incompetent. So it is therefore really it is not vanity. It is nothing but a form of the complex, inferiority complex. The person feels superior because he has his yes, sense of inferiority, being inferior. Therefore, mother, all these are ripuhu, afflictions. All these are the signs. Even if any one of them is there, only one of them, the other one will be present. It's a sign of being the sign of being inadequate, insecure, unhappy, jealousy. Final one is jealousy. Vimatsaraha. That is what is mentioned in the shloka. Matsaraha. V is opposite of it. We in fact we referring to the person. Vigataha. So Matsaraha is jealousy. Matsara, Vatsaryam we say. Kava, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, and Mada are all the legitimate problems in that they are understandable. But why does a person become happy when someone else is happy? Sorry, why does a person become unhappy? You are not able to withstand the happiness of other person. That is jealousy. When someone is happy, can I not at least be happy that someone, thank God, is happy? No, I cannot be happy when someone is happy. When I am not okay, when I am incompetent, how can the other person be? When I am not accepted myself, how can the other person be happy and how can be contented? Therefore a jealousy arises. When you see a person who is happy, contented, and when you are discontented, naturally you will have jealousy. That is why sometimes even the jnanis are, even people they look at jnani with jealousy. How can this person be happy? Not having anything, not even a proper clothing, just a kopina, only a loin cloth, no house, nothing. But the person is happy. Shrotriyasya chaka mahatasya in Taittiriya Upanishad. How can this person be happy and I am not happy? The jnani is the most happiest person. So seeing the jnani, therefore, somebody asked Swami, how can you be so happy? You can be so happy and smiling all the time. Smiling and being happy, is it a problem? Why should it be a problem for other person? Because other person could not be happy or smiling. Therefore, it's a form of jealousy. This kind of happiness is surely is a very simple thing. To see someone is happy, it requires some appreciation. When someone is happy and you feel happy, it's a great quality. When someone achieves something in life and you feel happy for it, then it's a positive sign. It's because you're a mature person. You have got heart which is pure. Therefore, to see that someone is happy because he or she has got something, and to be happy for the person cost me nothing. Then why does a person does not be happy with the happiness of the other person? Why doesn't be at least feel happy? At least not feel unhappy, not feel happy, not feel unhappy. I can work for the same thing and also get it. Instead, oh, there can be unhappiness called jealousy, which is the most illegitimate. Yeah, it's the most illegitimate of the sixfold problem. That is why Bhagavan Krishna addresses here. When someone is happy, you need not be happy. If you are happy, it's a good quality. If you are happy, then it shows that you are a mature person, you are a grown-up person. You are you're really you got some values. But why should be unhappy when other person is happy? Therefore, since that is the most illegitimate, other repose, other afflictions are illegitimate, but this is the most illegitimate. That is why Bhagavan Krishna mentions Vimatsaraha in the shloka, Dvandvatito Vimatsaraha. So, see, we have to substantiate why Vimatsara is mentioned. We have to substantiate why jealousy. Jealousy is highlighted. Freedom from jealousy, being free from jealousy, jealous. Why that is highlighted? Why not other? Because Jealousy, since it is most illegitimate, most troublesome, is the worst affliction one can have. Therefore, it is highlighted in the shloka. Vimatsaraha, the jnani, the sannyasi jnani, who is vimatsaraha, is happy, is free from jealous, free from jealousy, is non-jealous. Therefore, of the six, Krishna singles out jealousy by saying that the wise person is free from jealousy. Therefore, he is called vimatsaraha. To be free from jealousy is also to be free from all the shatripu, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Free from vanity. He doesn't have to proclaim himself. He doesn't have complex, neither inferior nor superior. Atma, what complex Atma can have? So doesn't have false value, doesn't have anger, doesn't have greed, doesn't have desire. So therefore, free from all these sixfold afflictions. Together, these are the sixfold afflictions or enemies called Shat Ripu. Ripu means enemy. Ripuhu, Ripu, Ripavaha, Shat Ripavaha. Sixfold enemies, sixfold afflictions. Why they are called Ripuhu? They are enemies because they afflict you like the enemies. That's why they are called Ripuhu. Ripuhu meaning enemy. The verse goes on to say that even though this wise person performs action, he or she is not bound. Kritvapi na nibadyate, by the results of action. Why? For the same reason. Akarmani karmayas pachit, akarmani karmayas pachit, akarmani cha karmayaha. This is akarma in karma. Therefore, kartrutva abhavat. Therefore, kritvapi na nibadyate. Even though he does, it's not bound. Even though he does, it's not bound by the results. Because he is not a doer. Why? For the same reason given earlier, there being no doership, tatrutva bhavat, because of the absence of the sense of the doership, that is because of jnanam, in terms of knowledge. Therefore, the person who knows that he or she is not a doer, therefore is not bound by the results of karma. Now, Krishna returns to the other person, or the one who is not a sannyasi in terms of lifestyle, but is also is a jnani, is a grahastha jnani. The jnani who is engaged in activity, who has duties to do, but because he or she doesn't happen to be sannyasi, continues to play the roles. He's not an ashrama sannyasi, but he's a jnani. He's a jnani. So therefore, because it's not a sannyasi, therefore, being in the ashrama, whichever ashrama is, therefore he continues to perform karma, whatever the ashrama demands, that karma he does. With each role, there is a script. He plays different roles. Being in the family, he plays different roles as father, mother, son, or employee, whatever the role. With each role, there is a script, and this person fulfills the script. The next shloka, Krishna describes what happens when this type of jnani performs action. So far, we have been discussing the sannyasi jnani performing karma. Now, grahastha jnani performing karma. What happens when grahastha jnani performing karma? Will it be bound by karma? Is discussed here. Next shloka 23. Let us read. Gata sangasya muktasya
Sangasya muktasya
jnanavastita chetasaha
jnanavastita chetasaha
yajnaya charata karma
yajnaya charata karma
samagram praviliyate.
samagram pravidiliyate.
Gata sangasya muktasya. Sangaha is attachment. Sangaha is gataha, gone. Gata sangasya. And is muktaha, is free. Is muktaha, is free. Is liberated, is free. Gata sangasya muktasya. Jnana avastita chetasaha. Chetas is mind. Is established in the jnana avastha, jnana avastita chetasaha. So being free from attachment, and he is free, is muktaha, and his jnana avastita chetasa, his mind is in the jnana avastha. So therefore, yajnaya charata karma samagram praviliyate. Yajnaya, yajnaya acharata karma, yajna. The yajna is this nitya naimitikadi karma, yajna. Yajna is yajna, daily yajna, panchamaha yajna. Panchamaha also the fivefold yajna, fivefold karma, yajna, which as a grasta supposed to follow, supposed to do every day. That karma, panchamaha yajna. Panchamaha yajna to be done for nullifying the papa one incurs. One incurs due to their action. Due to their action, fivefold papa. Therefore, to nullify the fivefold papa, the papa which is gained through fivefold karma, therefore the fivefold counteraction, that is called Panchamaha Yajna. So, Yajnaya, that is Panchamaha Yajna, or Yajna is Yajna, the karma, whatever karma the person he does, Nitiremitika, the karma, Sandhyavandana, the karma, other karma, the karma which are ordained by the Shastra, or Yajna can be taken as any karma which is done for the which is done for the harmony of the world. That is maintenance of the harmony of the world, as we saw in the third chapter. That yajna chakram, that yajna which is a continuous one, that is to be done, karma to be done as a yajna for the maintenance of the order. That is also yajna. So that is yajna here for the sake of yajna. Yajna meaning it's karma. Yajna is karma. The karma could be kaika, vachika, manasa. Karma done by a person is called yajna. And the Vaidika, why the word yajna is used here? The person is a Vaidika. The person is a Vaidika doing Vaidika karma. Therefore, karma done by this person is a yajna. It's a vachika. It could be vachika, could be kaika, could be manasa karma. Therefore, nitya nimitika, the karma can be taken, or the one's duty, kartavyam karma, whatever the role or whatever duty to be performed, that is becomes a yajna. When the person does, it's a jnani, he's a jnani. So we are talking about jnani. Therefore, he will not violate his duty. He will not violate what's supposed to be done. Not expecting, not attaching itself to the result of karma. He does what is to be done. Not expecting, not attaching itself, not attaching himself to the result of karma. He does. That is yajna. Then that karma becomes yajna. Acharataha, the acharataha referring to the person, one who performs karma. Oh, samagram praviliyate. So the karma, yajnaya acharataha, samagram praviliyate. So being free from, that is the karma of the person. Karma, samagram praviliyate, completely the karma, the action, praviliyate resolves. Samagram, completely, totally, the karma done by the person, the karma done for the sake of yajna, and the person being free from attachment is muktaha, is free, and his mind is established in this jnanam, atma jnanam. Therefore, what will happen to the karma? That is, karma resolves. Samagram praviliyate. Samagram praviliyate, karma resolves. Resolved means that there's no doership, no sense of that aham karta because of jnanam, since there is no doership. Therefore, what will happen to the karma? Karma palam. It is resolved. So that is why Brahmarpanam Brahma Vihi. That is why karma, what the person does. Brahmarpanam Brahma Vihi. That's the next shloka, in fact. 24th shloka. Brahmarpanam Brahma Vihi, Brahmagno Brahmana Hutam. So everything is offered to Brahma, done by Brahma. It is what is done is Brahma. By whom it is done is Brahma. Where it is done is Brahma. How it is done is Brahma. And what is gained by that is also Brahma. So everything is Brahma. Therefore, what is there to achieve? That is what a resolution. There's nothing to achieve, therefore karma resolves completely. The karma pala resolves completely. Although the jnani may be in the midst of various activities, he or she is not attached to anything. That is a sign of a jnani. Therefore, gata sangasya, no sangha, no asakti. All attachments, sangha has gone. Gata has gone, left. Gataha sangaha, gataha sangaha, yasmat. From whom gata, sangha has gone, the attachment has gone. Attachment with anatma. He doesn't attach himself to anatma. Kartrutva abhimana. It has gone because of jnana. Therefore, jnani. And he does karma. What jnani? Grihastha jnani. So all attachment has gone for the person because of self-knowledge. Therefore, the jnani described here as gata sangaha. Gata sangha is the name of the person. Gata sangaha referring to the person. That is from the one from whom the sangha has gone. And is muktaha. Referred to the same person referred to by the word muktaha is liberated. Liberated from what? From ajnanam, from samsara, from doership, kartrutvam. Therefore, he is free from dharma, adharma, because he is because there is no kartrutvam. Therefore, no punya papa. Therefore, no karma param, no punya papa. No papam, no punyam will attach to the person because there is no karta. To be free from right and wrong means there is no longer any good karma, bad karma for the person because there is no doer. When doer is not there, what is good, what is bad for the person? Doership is not there. Therefore, whatever karma the jnani does, naturally it will be good because he is free from both right and wrong. In fact, jnani only can be really a dharmika person. Whatever jnani does, it will be good for the world. That is why yajnaya, the word also it is there. Yajnaya acharataha. Only a jnani can be really a dharmika person because he has nothing to gain. Therefore, whatever he does, that is only for the welfare of the world. Whereas a person who has a sense of doership and is a dharmika person, he may be a dharmika person, but the same person, maybe he may fall, he may slip, he may adopt adharmika means because of some compulsion, some compulsions or some attachment. Dharmika, a person may be a dharmika, but because of attachment, he may slip sometimes, possible, but a jnani can never slip. That is why jnani only can be really a dharmika person because he is free from right and wrong. Because he is free from right and wrong doesn't mean he will do wrong acts. Whatever he does, that will be for the benefit of the world. So loka sangraha artham karma. Please. And why is a person free? Because the mind chetas. The shloka, the chetas, jnana vastita chetasaha. Chetas means manasityartaha, mind. Because the mind of such a person is rooted in what? Jnanam. Jnane avastitaha manaha chetasaha. Yasya. His mind is rooted in, established in jnanam. He has done shavanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. Therefore, his mind is in jnana means he understands himself to be Atma, Brahma, Jagat Karna Brahma. That is the jnana avastha. Jnana avastha. It is rooted, established. It is firmly. The mind is placed in the Atma, not in Anatma. So Aham is not followed by adjectives. Aham, Atma. So Aham is in Atma only. That is rooted. It is rooted in the sense that for this person, the knowledge is very clear. Aham Brahmasmi iti The jnanam is clear. There is no vagueness or doubt. There is clarity. There's clear knowledge. Therefore, that is what jnana avastita chetasaha. The person who enjoys a mind which is free from ajnanam. It means it is rooted in jnanam. The jnanam is aham atma iti. It is much more than the simple insight. The jnani's knowledge is well rooted, therefore he or she is described as jnana vastita chetasaha, the one whose mind is rooted in the knowledge of self as a non-doer. Aham is atma, aham atma. Whereas ajnani will say aham so and so, it's a long biodata. Whereas jnani, aham atma. That is the rooting, that is the rooted avastita. Any karma to be done by such a person, any daily duty, nitya karma, or daily duty or ritual yajna, is done without any result whatsoever being accrued to the person. Even though doesn't have to do karma, but he does karma. Why? Because loka sangrahartham, he does karma. He is not taken to sannyasa ashrama, being in the grastha ashrama or whatever the ashrama brahmacharya. So he does karma that is to be done. Now the question comes, will there be karma palam for that karma? Because there is no kartrutva vimana. Therefore, karma palam also will not accrue to the person. Then why does he do karma? Doesn't have to do karma. He does karma because people follow him. Therefore, as we saw before, loka sangrahartham, sayat pramanam kurute, lokas tadanuvartate, we saw in the third chapter. So he does karma. Karma done by the person may be a prayer or an elaborate ritual. Or it may be a duty attached to his role. Duty attached to his role, not he is attached. As a member of a particular family or society, or as an employer, or any of variety of roles that he or she plays. So he does karma. Now, what will happen to the karma pala? Samagram karma, it means all action, action in its entirety, meaning action along the result. Karma pala, papa punya. So all, samagram means total. All can also be taken to mean all karma. So the word samagram meaning all can mean all the karma, nitya nimitika adi karma, any karma, whether laukika or vedika karma, or karma and along with karma pala. For the jnani, what will happen? All the karma, that is, the results are totally resolved. Priviliyate. It resolves. Because there is no doership for the person, therefore resolves. That means karma palam will not afflict the person. Namam karma limpanti, name karma pales prakas, Bhagavan said before, the beginning of this chapter. That is a resolution. Priviliyate. It should be noted here that it is a jnani who is being described, not the karma yogi. Please note. For whom there is still doership. The difference, karma yogi is a jnani. Here jnani is talked about. Jnani doing karma. Thus, there are two levels involved. One level being an attitude, and other level is well ascertained knowledge. One is a sadhaka, other one is a siddha. So, as a sadhaka, karma yogi does what siddha naturally enjoys. So, therefore, two levels. Karma yogi is an ajnani. Therefore, that yoga is an attitude for the karma yogi, whereas and that attitude is natural for a jnani. Well ascertained knowledge. The cheerfulness that a karma yogi gains by a proper attitude towards what is to be done is what turns into purnatvam, fullness, by knowledge, thereby giving the person freedom from sense of limitation. Because the doership is removed by knowledge, everything else that was imposed upon Atma is also removed, and the person becomes free, muktaha. That is the karma yoga is a sadhanam. Karma yoga as a sadhanam, it helps him to cultivate the attitude, and the attitude later it's converted into purnatvam by jnanam. Converted into purnatvam is discovering the purnatvam. He discovers himself to be free from being imperfect. He's always free. He's free from the sense of any sense of limitation. He discovers himself to be limitless. Therefore, the connection between karma yoga and jnana is to be clearly understood. So here jnani is talked about, not karma yogi. Yoga is not talked about, jnanam is talked about. The Gita teaches both Yoga Shastra and Brahma Vidya. Yoga Shastra, Brahma Vidyayam. So Karma Yoga is right attitude, which includes values, disciplines, right living, prayer, and so on. Whatever is relatively gained by all this is gained in full measure, absolute measure through knowledge. That's why we say what was accomplished, what is natural in a person, the jnani, that becomes a sadhana for the Karma Yogi. That is in second chapter, Satapragya Lakshana, Lakshanani, were discussed. There is a tranquility in yoga and tranquility in knowledge. There is cheerfulness in yoga and cheerfulness in knowledge. In Karma Yoga, the tranquility and cheerfulness are in varying degrees, whereas in Jnanam, they are abiding and natural. That is why Jnana Vastita Chetasaha. Jnana Vastita Chetasa is only for the Jnani, not for the Karma Yogi, because it is natural. You will hear it said that a Karma Yogi is also not bound by karma. This means he or she is not affected by karma in the sense the person is not depressed by failure or related by success because of the attitude, the mature attitude towards the opposite, because he recognizes the Ishvara, which is a karma paladata. So therefore, Ishvara decides over the karma pala, he is a karma paladata. So therefore, whatever phalam comes, he accepts as a prasada from the Lord. That is the attitude he has. Attitude, therefore, he is not depressed by failure or related by success. Therefore, there is also samatta buddhi, samasiddhava siddhocha. But for Jnani, the Jnani on the other hand is not touched by karma pala at all. Therefore, it is natural. What is cultivated by a karma yogi as a sadhaka, as a sadhana, that is natural in Jnani. Therefore, is not touched by karma pala at all. To say that a Jnani is not bound by karma means he or she is completely untouched by karma pala. Whereas Karma Yogi is not like the Karma Yogi, because of the attitude, is not affected by Karma Pala, whereas Jnani is completely untouched by, affected by Karma Pala because of Jnanam. What is the Jnanam? The Jnanam Agam Atma na Karta. Because the self is not a doer. That is a Jnanam. For such a person, everything is Ishvara, everything is Brahma. So Swamiji connects with the next shloka, everything Brahma. That is going to be next topic. Okay, let us read complete this also. So Brahma and the Atma and self are identical. To understand that I am Karta means Aham Brahma. Agam Akarta, Agam Atma, Aham Brahma. The mind is also Brahma. The mind is I, but I am not the mind. The Buddhi is I, but I am not the Buddhi. The body is I, but I am not the body. The world is I, but I am not the world. Therefore, everything is what? Everything is Brahma. But Brahma is not any one thing. Therefore, the self and the Brahma are identical. Aikyam, they are one. Knowing this is self-knowledge. Whatever karma you do, you will find it is all the same. What is done is Brahma. The one who does it is also Brahma. Where it is done is Brahma. By what it is done is Brahma. What is to be achieved also is Brahma. It means there's nothing to be achieved because everything is Brahma. And what is that to be achieved? When a fire ritual is performed, the next shloka here, there is a person who performs a ritual. There is a Yajamana. And altar of fire, where fire has to be kindled. The Yajna Kunda, Yaga Kunda will be there, where fire has to be kindled. Fire has been kindled in a particular way. And something that is offered into the fire, that is called Haguti, Avis, etc., which is offered into the fire. And there is a ladle, a spoon, with which the oblation is offered by saying Swaha, a particular mantra or chant is chant, and the purpose for which the ritual is being done. Sankalpa is taken before performing the ritual. And Ahutis are offered with the help of ladle into the Agni Kunda by the Yajamana. The person performing the ritual may want a son or punya necessary to go to heaven. It all depends on the wish of the person, the sankalpa of the person, or maybe doing the karma for antakarna shuddhi. That is also possible. For this person who wants any of the above rituals, all these factors, all these are different karakas. So, but understand, Yajamana is karta. What it is done is karana. And what is offered, object, that is karma. So to whom it is offered, how it is offered, all these are karakas. So different karakas are involved. All the factors are distinct and separate from himself and are separate amongst himself. But for a jnani, they are all nothing but Brahma, which is himself. Karta is Brahma, Karma is Brahma, Karana is Brahma, Sampradana, Apadana, Adhikana, everything is Brahma for Jnani. Whereas for a Karma Yogi, because he has got Sankalpa, wanting his son or Punya to go to heaven or performing karma for Antakarna Shuddhi, he has got Kartrutvam. For him, all the factors are distinct and they are real. Whereas for Jnani, they are nothing but they are Brahma Eva. So therefore, that is the next shloka. Brahmarpanam Brahma Vihi. 24th shloka. Another important shloka. We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. धन्यवादः.